Rather lads, welcome back to the Cossy Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to brand new video. This latest Arsenal news and transfer news as well. Leno and Willian have sent a message to Arsenal fans, and they have said we are going to fight with everything we have to make sure that Manchester City do not beat us today at the Craven Cottage. Leno says that of course we are playing our last game this season in front of the fans, in front of the Fulham fans at home. We want to give them something positive, and we want to end the season on a high note. So therefore, we are not going to sit down and allow Manchester City just to play and pick up 3 points. We are actually going to fight. So we are going to see a very motivated performance from Leno, a very motivated performance from Willian. Obviously, Arsenal have Iwobi there, who we sold to Everton, and Everton eventually sold to Fulham. Could the Fulham boys do a job? Let me know in the comment box below. Do you believe there could be something against Man City from Fulham? Do you think that Manchester City could drop points in this game? It's in London, it's away from Manchester, and Manchester City could, right, suffer from the emotions as they travel to London. We'll be talking about that. Of course, we'll talk about Arsenal's EPL trophy parade. Now, Arsenal have already planned what's going to happen, and they have already planned the trophy parade. It's going to take place on the 20th of May. I'm not really sure why this information has come out a little bit early. Do you think that this is to motivate the players, probably give them more ambition, keep them believing, keep them alive, keep their hopes alive as we go to the Old Trafford? Because Mikel Arteta yesterday, he was talking about the trophy, and he said, I don't see us not lifting the trophy. I feel we're going to lift the trophy. I feel we are going to be champions of the Premier League this season, and I don't feel any other way. Do you think it's a technique and a tactic of motivating the players, or do you think that Arsenal, according to Mikel Arteta's gut feeling, we are actually going to win the Premier League? Now, Real Ferdinand has been running his mouth once again on the internet, saying that Arsenal don't deserve to win the Premier League if they don't beat Manchester United. Imagine, after winning all these games, because we can't beat Manchester United, or because if we don't beat Manchester United, Real Ferdinand says that we don't deserve to win if we don't beat Man United. Talk to me in the comment box below there, and let's see what you actually have to say. So there's a lot to run into. Of course, we have that Isak and Bruno Guimaraes double swoop that Arsenal are looking at. Both of them will be costing in excess of 80 million, but Arsenal really focused on getting that duo into the system, especially is Alexander Isak, who we are told is the priority signing for Mikel Arteta as a striker. Let's see what happens, and of course, let's dive into the stories together. Let's start off with that big one. From Willian and Leno. Both of them have been speaking to the media ahead of the Manchester City game, and they were asked whether they could actually do a job against Manchester City. Willian said, of course it will be tough, a tough one, a tough game to play, but I think together we can do something special. To be honest, I don't think about helping Arsenal or any other club. We have to think about ourselves, to do the best, and give the best game that we can do on Saturday. We have games left. We have 2 games left, and we have to fight for the points. But for me personally, I don't think about any other situation, any other club. I think about myself and my club, Fulham, at the moment alone. So the important part there from Willian says, of course, it will be a tough game. It will be a tough one to play, but I think I think together we can do something special. That is quite very, very interesting from Willian, and I think for Fulham, whether they like it or not, this is a game that now affects them. This is a game that has been caught up in a situation where they don't want to find themselves, but a situation where they already are. I mean, taking on Man City at the Craven Cottage, in the title running, you're going to play a nervous Manchester City, but you're also going to play a very competent Manchester City, and you're going to play a game where the world is watching you, where you're expected to deliver your all. It's the same thing happened with Nottingham Forest. The same thing happened with Wolves, and I think all these teams will look at Man City and they're like, they don't really seem to crumble under pressure. They don't seem really to be affected under pressure. But we have not seen Manchester City go a goal down in this title running. We have not seen Manchester City, go 70 minutes without scoring in the last 5 games or 6 games in this title running. So let's wait and see if Manchester City can be held before to a 0-0 draw by 70 minutes. What could happen? Could Pep Guardiola and his side a little, crumble a little bit? Could they panic? That's what we want to see. But Willian says together they can do something special. But he's also, focusing on his game and his team, Fulham. Ban Leno also talked about the game, and he said, "My focus is on our club and our performance. Once, of course, if we take points from Manchester City, I think a lot of Arsenal boys will text me. A couple of them texted me already and said, 'Look, guys, don't worry, we will give 100% in this game.'" So that's Banleno as well, confirming that they want to put in a performance, but not for Arsenal, for Fulham. But then he says a couple of Arsenal boys have already texted him, and he has told them, "We will give our whole, we will give 100%. Do not worry about that." Now, Banleno on Instagram was told by an Arsenal fan to keep a clean sheet against Manchester City, and he said, "Don't worry, mate. We are actually going to be working on that. We are actually, I'm actually going to be looking forward to trying to stop Manchester City from scoring on that day." Now, listen, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of emotion going on around the trophy. I mean, Arsenal have already organized a trophy parade. According to the information I'm having today, we already have a trophy parade which will be on the 20th on the 20th of May if we actually win the trophy. And Mikel Arteta himself, as a manager, when he was asked about Arsenal winning the trophy, he said, "For me at the moment, I don't think about Arsenal not winning the trophy. I think about Arsenal, winning the trophy." And he says, "My brain always takes me to the players lifting the Premier League. That is my brain. That's what my brain is doing at the moment. I just follow my brain and my gut. This is how I feel, and this is the way that I want everybody to think, and hopefully we can achieve it at the end of the day." So the atmosphere around Arsenal is that we are going to do it. The atmosphere around this club is that we are going to be champions. There is nothing, there's nothing better than that. And I know this is going to be the second season running where Arsenal try maybe and fail. Maybe Arsenal try this time and succeed. But I love the positivity. I love the energy. You look at the Fulham players, coming out to say that you want to stop Man City is not something easy. But also you coming out to say that you want to give 100% in this game. It sends a positive message to football. It sends a positive message to Arsenal, and it sends a positive message to the people out there that would love to see another new champion for the Premier League, another champion, for this league. I don't want to see Man City winning this league every single time. It becomes boring and it becomes absolutely disgusting, in my opinion. Now, Rio Ferdinand has been running his mouth when it comes to the Arsenal game. He has said, if Arsenal don't beat us, he's a Manchester United fan, obviously an ex-Manchester United player. He says, if Arsenal don't beat us in this game, they don't deserve to be champions. This is what he said. And of course, he was on his show on YouTube, which is called the Rio Ferdinand 5. And he says, is there any he says, I think if Arsenal lose against Manchester United in this game, they don't deserve to be champions, because you're going to a team that is depleted, lack of confidence, almost nothing to play for in the league now, and they are teams that you want to play against in the running. Is there enough of that there? I think there's a lot of question marks on Manchester United, but Arsenal players will be able to go there. So the question marks there. We can't be going into a match like this, and failing to win. It should be, we are going to deal with these, roll them over, and carry on with the task and try to win the league. So Rio Ferdinand thinks that Arsenal don't deserve to win the Premier League if we cannot beat Manchester United. I would say with Rio Ferdinand, partially he's right, partially he is wrong. And this is why I think he's partially right and partially wrong. If you look at what Arsenal have done from day one of the campaign to where we are now, by the way, with 83 points, Arsenal should be champions. I'm not even going to lie. Arsenal should be champions right about now, because you look at the levels of the Premier League. You look at what Arsenal have achieved previously, and you're like, this season, if it's not Manchester City's brilliance, if it is not Manchester City's impeccable run of 9 games unbeaten, I think that Man City are unbeaten since December. So if it's not that impeccable run, Arsenal are already champions. We are already, big champions, right? So for me, for Rio Ferdinand to come and say Arsenal don't deserve to be champions if they don't beat Man United, I don't think one game should define the whole season, honestly. But also, these are games that define your season. These are games that Leicester City managed to win in order for them to actually win the Premier League. They did beat Arsenal. They when Arsenal were not that good. I think that was no, they didn't beat Arsenal actually. They beat Manchester United. In that season, Manchester United were not that good. They beat every single team that was a rollover. They came and did a job on every single team that was supposed to be beaten. And that was how Leicester City won the Premier League in that season. And that is how Arsenal failed to win the Premier League. Because during that time, Arsene Wenger's team was still, not really young, but we didn't have enough quality to go and beat every team that we were supposed to beat. We failed to beat Manchester United at the Old Trafford because somehow we never beat Manchester United at the Old Trafford with Arsene Wenger in charge, right? So I think Rio has got a point, but I don't think his point is 100% valid. You cannot say they don't deserve to win because they don't beat Manchester United at the Old Trafford. Anyway, we don't win there. But the point is that this Arsenal team has now got to evolve to that level where you beat the teams that you're supposed to beat regardless of who they are, regardless of where they are, and regardless of who and what they stand for. As long as you are the better side, as long as you have the bigger ambition, you've got to go there and do a job against Man United. And I think Rio Ferdinand has nothing to worry about because Arsenal will do a job against these guys. We will do a job against them. So that is what the title atmosphere looks like. Let's dive into some of the transfers for now. And the transfers, of course, I want us to talk about that duo at Newcastle. Arsenal very much interested in signing Alexander Isak, like we discussed yesterday on the live stream. Thanks everybody for tuning in on that one. And of course, Bruno Guimaraes. Now PSG have pulled out of this race, which actually puts Arsenal in pole position to sign Alexander Isak and Bruno Guimaraes if the money allows, and also if Mikel Arteta thinks that it's a very good idea to get both players in. Now, for me, I would not even waste a lot of time on this one if I was Arsenal. Alexander Isak, top Premier League striker. Obviously, most of you want Victor Osimhen, as revealed yesterday on the live stream. I'll be giving you more content on Victor Osimhen if I actually get it, but he's not the top priority. The priority at Arsenal at the moment is still Alexander Isak. But I think if Arsenal really are interested in these two, and Newcastle are open to selling any of the two or even both of them, we should just do the job. I mean, it's very difficult for you to go to and negotiate a deal for two players from one club. The last time I saw something like that, it was very far away ago. It was always Barcelona that was trying to hijack Arsenal and our process in terms of building talents. They come for Fabregas, then they come for Thierry Henry, then they come for Alexander Hileb, then they come back for Alexander Sombilong. I don't think Newcastle are that club, but they're also trying to build something, and they would think that if they lose one player, probably that should be enough, especially to one club like Arsenal. And I also think that they look at Arsenal as a potential rival. Maybe not now, but in the near future. So they're thinking, if we strengthen one Premier League team, giving them our best striker, and then giving them one of our best midfielders, or even our best midfielder, that might not be something that we are looking forward to doing. But for me, that duo and that double deal would be an absolute cracker if Arsenal get it. It would mark our window a 10 out of 10. Because, listen, they want Ramsdale. Could Arsenal maybe throw Aaron Ramsdale into that deal? Could we throw an Emile Smith Rowe into that deal? The duo crosses over and goes the other side, and Isak and Guimaraes cross over and come this side as well. I think this would cost around 180 80 million if Arsenal want to do this deal. Around 180 million, and I still think that Arsenal might not want to spend a lot of money on one of those positions, either the midfield or the attack. I kind of feel like the attack is the priority, as reported by many of the top journalists now. So it's going to be attack. So Isak may go for 90 million, and then Guimaraes might not come because you look at the other midfielders are on the market. They're around 40 to 60 million euros. So maybe Arsenal could decide to go for a 60 million euro Zubimendi and a 90 million euro Alexander Isak. But whatever happens, I'm happy that Arsenal are in for these two, and I'm happy that we're trying. Might not be an easy deal to do, never an easy deal to do when it comes to Alexander Isak, when it comes to signing two players from one team. So Isak and Guimaraes, could we see a double swoop? We could see. Could it happen? It could. And it's going to be very expensive, but of course Newcastle know that will allow them to get some big money into their bank account.